Yo, what's up Guardians, I'm Sincere and I will be your host for the Guardian Awards. With Witch Queen just under a month away, I think now is a fitting time to recap the biggest winners and losers of Destiny 2 Season of the Lost. I may dabble in PvE, but this series will mainly focus on the Crucible. Today's award is for the most toxic weapon in the Crucible. So without further ado, let's rock. This past season might just be the longest season Destiny 2 players have had in recent memory. Over the course of this season, we have seen a plethora of loadouts and builds using the Crucible. This award is for weapons which had us closest to all F4ing, desk banging, controller throwing, copium drinking, or simply yelling expletives at the top of your lungs so loudly that your parents or your housemates or your wife came in to see if everything was alright. I appreciate that this list is quite subjective, and if there are any guns you feel really should have made this list, drop a comment below. But first, let's clear the air on how you can win this award. To win this award, we will only be considering weapons. This means we will not be considering playstyles or builds. Trust me, there's a specific award for that coming. What we're looking at specifically are intrinsically annoying weapons as soon as they are equipped. Don't worry if you don't remember exactly what each weapon does. We'll do a brief recap on their main perks and exactly why they are so toxic. Now, without further ado, the nominees are the Monarch. This exotic bow, if it even can be called a bow, is an energy weapon bow. Its perk reads: arrows fired quickly after a full draw become poison arrows. Precision hits with poison arrows spread poison to nearby enemies. This bow also uses primary ammo, meaning that there are no limits to how incredibly frustrating this weapon can be. In the hands of a skilled or committed Legolas roleplayer, this weapon is extremely frustrating. The Monarch's toxic trait is it can really keep you and your teammates no shields for the longest time, allowing for coordinated cleanups, especially in trials. Our second nominee is the time-lost Fatebringer. The time-lost Fatebringer without explosive payloads is already one of the most powerful kinetic hand cannons in Destiny. In my opinion, with or without explosive payloads, this is the best legendary hand cannon. But explosive payloads are just too good. The amount of reversals you can pull off with this gun due to explosive payload induced flinch is nuts. Too many situations you can win even if you are down the first shot simply because of explosive payloads. And did I mention that explosive payloads also help mitigate range drop off, allowing you to output stupid hand cannon damage across the map, and you can shoot the floor to finish off weak opponents in case you needed the additional advantage? I mean, who needs cover anyway? Side note, I'm low-key toxic because I actually like this gun. I love it. It is what it is. Our third nominee is the Lorentz Driver. I want to say this gun needs no introduction. The Lorentz Driver is quite possibly one of the most terrifying weapons on site. Or when you hear that terrifying headshot sound effect, its exotic perk reads: a precision final blow with this weapon creates an implosion that pulls in nearby targets and damages them with an additional detonation. The intrinsic perk is: this weapon marks targets with an automated targeting system. Final blows on marked targets generate a telemetry pattern. Collecting 3 telemetry patterns without dying grants this weapon bonus damage for a long duration. With the catalyst, after collecting 3 telemetry patterns, you no longer require headshots to trigger EM anomaly. That's the black hole suction effect, and you deal more damage. Do I need to say much more about this weapon? Its toxic trait is its ridiculously high aim assist or target acquisition being off the charts, meaning it will snipe you through flinch with no problems. I think that's what makes this weapon so frustrating to fight. To make things worse, you never want to be collateral damaged by getting sucked into the black hole just because your teammate got headshot. This weapon is oppressive as hell. Our fourth nominee is the Dead Man's Tail. The Dead Man's Tail is probably one of the most popular weapons in the Crucible right now. This gun is extremely oppressive. One bullet from a cranial spike primed DMT wielder can leave you half HP. It's extremely difficult to challenge this gun at mid to far range, and you can literally deny lines of sight for free. Even trying to outmaneuver this gun with movement is difficult because the hipfire accuracy bonus and the rate of fire bonus the catalyst gives. Even hand cannons can't do what this gun can do at close ranges with its hipfire accuracy. The DMT's toxic trait is simply how dominant it is with its oppressive damage output. And our final nominee is the Chaperone. If somehow you've been sleeping under a rock, the Chaperone is the Kinetic exotic slug shotgun. Its primary perk is the Roadborne. Precision kills briefly grant bonus handling, range, and precision damage with this weapon. What this exotic perk fails to tell you is how much. When you have Roadborne active, you literally are the most deadly man or woman within 16 to 19 meters of your enemy. Don't quote me on that, but either way it won't matter because this gun will delete you off the face of the Crucible before you notice. Now imagine if this thing had Icarus grip. Before I announce the winner, some honorable mentions. The Last Word, a controller player's best friend, Lord of Walls for your best Fallen Captain cosplay, and the main ingredient for when you get tired of shotgun inconsistency and you just want to map everyone. But without further ado, the winner is the Dead Man's Tale. This gun is just amazing. It can do everything at the highest level. This gun literally has no weaknesses, and just imagine if you bag yourself a Vorpal high cal DMT, you've literally won at Destiny 2 Crucible. And side note, I actually hate this gun a lot, just in case you were wondering. Well, that's all for today, Guardians. I hope you've had fun with this one the same way I have. Drop a comment if you think there are some dark horses I've missed out on. I'll hopefully see you in the next episode of the Guardian Awards. That's all for today. Your boy Sincere, signing out.